SKOL, Vikings fans. What a wild offseason it's been for our Minnesota Vikings. Coming off a stellar 2024 season where we finished second in the NFC North. All eyes are on the purple and gold as we gear up for 2025. But here's the teaser that's got everyone buzzing. The Vikings are all in on a rookie quarterback, McCarthy, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Last season, we saw Sam Darnold lead us to a 14-3 record, but the front office made a bold call to hand the keys to McCarthy, their 2024 first-round pick. Why? Because the Vikings believe he's the future, and ESPN analyst Seth Walder is giving them 2 thumbs up for it. This move is the biggest decision of the offseason, and it's got the NFL world watching. Can a kid who hasn't taken a regular season snap lead a Super Bowl-caliber roster? Let's dive into this whirlwind of Vikings news. From draft picks to free agent signings, Minnesota's been making waves, but not all of them are getting praise. Stick with me as we break down the highs, the lows, and the pressure on McCarthy's shoulders. What do you think? Did the Vikings make the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about the quarterback switch that's got every Vikings fan on edge. Sam Darnold had a career year in 2024, but Seth Walder from ESPN says his 14th-ranked QBR tells a different story. His rough Week 18 against the Lions and that wildcard flop against the Rams? Ouch. The Vikings saw enough to move on, and that's where McCarthy steps in. McCarthy, drafted 10th overall in 2024, posted an elite 90.6 PFF grade in his final season at Michigan. The kid's got poise, playmaking, and a winning mentality, but he's coming off a knee injury that sidelined him for his entire rookie year. The Vikings are banking on him to be a step up, and with Kevin O'Connell's play-calling genius and Justin Jefferson catching passes, the stage is set for something special. But here's the suspense. McCarthy's never taken an NFL snap. Can he handle the pressure of a Super Bowl window? Walder thinks he'll surprise us in a good way, but some analysts, like Bleacher Report's Mo Moton, warn we might see growing pains. What's your take, Vikings faithful? Is McCarthy ready to dominate? Now let's get into the draft drama. The Vikings had a chance to trade down in the 2025 NFL Draft, with juicy offers from the Giants and Falcons staring them in the face. But instead, they stayed put and picked guard Donovan Jackson in the first round. Seth Walder wasn't thrilled, giving Minnesota a C+ for their offseason grade. Oof, that stings. Minnesota's draft strategy raised eyebrows because they were short on picks. Trading down could have stocked the cupboard, but the front office believed Jackson was worth it to bolster the offensive line. Protecting McCarthy and opening lanes for Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason is critical. But did they miss a golden opportunity? Here's where it gets juicy. Walder argues no team needed to trade down more than the Vikings. With a roster already stacked, could those extra picks have landed a game-changer? Tell me, SKOL Nation, did Kwesi Adofo-Mensah make the right call? Or should we have played the draft board differently? Hold up, Vikings fans, because the defense is looking fierce. Minnesota made a splash by signing defensive tackle Javon Hargrave to a 2-year, $30 million deal. After a down year with the 49ers, the Vikings see him as a bounce-back star to fix a defensive line that ranked 5th worst in pressures last season. That's a bold move. Pairing Hargrave with Jonathan Allen, who signed a 3-year deal with just $6.4 million in 2025 cap hit, gives Brian Flores' unit some serious juice. Add in cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, a Super Bowl champ from Philly, and this defense is starting to look like a nightmare for opponents. Rodgers is already turning heads in OTAs, per ESPN's Kevin Seifert. But here's the cliffhanger. Hargrave's injury history and Allen's declining pass rush win rate-raise questions. Can these veterans turn back the clock? If they do, our D could be elite. What do you think? Will Flores' blitz-heavy scheme make us a top 10 defense in 2025? Let's shift to the offensive side, where the Vikings have a loaded arsenal. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson form one of the NFL's best receiving trios, backed by Pro Bowl tackles and a solid RB duo in Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. NFL.com's Gennaro Phillips ranked us number 9 in offense for 2024, but we're missing from his 2025 top 10. What gives? Phyllis says offensive rankings are tricky, yards, DVOA, EPA, you name it, the stats can be sliced a million ways. With McCarthy under center, there's uncertainty. Can he mesh with O'Connell's system and elevate this group? If he clicks, we could be unstoppable, but if he struggles, that number 9 ranking might look generous. The suspense is killing me. With so much talent, the offense should shine, but it all hinges on McCarthy. SKOL fans, where do you see our offense ranking in 2025? Are we top 5 material, or is Phyllis right to pump the brakes? Let's shine a spotlight on a hidden gem, cornerback Isaiah Rodgers. This guy's been labeled the most slept-on player on our defense by Vikings Wire. After missing 2023 due to a gambling suspension, he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles in 2024 and now looks to lock down a starting spot next to Byron Murphy Jr. Rodgers flashed big time in OTAs, earning praise from ESPN's Kevin Seifert for his playmaking. At 27, he's hungry to prove himself, and Brian Flores' aggressive scheme could be the perfect fit. If he follows the path of Andrew Van Ginkel, we might be talking about a contract extension next offseason. But here's the question. Can Rodgers handle the pressure of a full-time role? He only played 29 defensive snaps last year, so the jury's still out. Vikings fans, are you buying the hype on Rodgers? Could he be our next breakout star? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Jordan Addison's legal trouble. Our star wide receiver faces a DUI trial starting today, July 15, 2025, after being found asleep behind the wheel in LA last year. If found guilty, he could face a 3-game NFL suspension, per Pro Football Talk, and his 2023 speeding incident might not help his case. Addison's a key piece of our offense, with his speed and hands complementing Jefferson perfectly. A suspension could disrupt our early season chemistry, especially with McCarthy still finding his footing. The verdict's coming soon, and it could shake up our game plan. What's your take, SKOL Nation? How big of a blow would a suspension be? Can TJ Hawkinson and others step up if Addison misses time? Drop your thoughts below, because this one's got me nervous. The Vikings defense got another boost with a suggested late offseason move, signing veteran edge rusher Matthew Judon. ESPN's Aaron Schatz thinks Judon, despite a down 2024 with 5.5 sacks, could be a savvy addition to our edge room. 33, he's no spring chicken, but his resume screams impact. Our pass rush needs help after a lackluster 2024, and Judon could rotate in to keep guys like Andrew Van Ginkel fresh. Pair that with Hargrave and Allen up front, and Brian Flores might have the pieces to dial up some chaos. But is Judon still elite, or is he past his prime? Here's the suspense. If Judon signs, could he be the missing link to make our defense dominant? Vikings fans, would you roll the dice on this veteran? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Get ready, SKOL fans, because training camp is almost here. The Vikings announced their 2025 schedule, with a dozen practices open to fans, starting next Sunday when rookies and QBs report. All eyes will be on J.J. McCarthy as he takes his first steps as QB1. CBS Minnesota says the team's buzzing with excitement. We've also got a potential backup QB controversy brewing. Former Golden Gophers star Max Brosmer turned heads in the offseason program, per Daily Norseman. Could he push for the number 2 spot? With McCarthy's injury history, depth at QB is huge, and Brosmer's got local fans hyped. The big question: will McCarthy look like a star in camp, or will nerves get the best of him? What are you most excited to see at training camp, Vikings faithful? Share your thoughts and let's get pumped for some football. As we wrap up, let's look at the big picture. The Vikings are in a Super Bowl window, and 2025 could be our year. With McCarthy leading a stacked offense and Flores scheming up a revamped defense, the NFC North better watch out. But the pressure's on. Can this young QB deliver? Or will we miss Darnold's experience? The offseason's been a roller coaster, from bold signings like Hargrave to draft debates and Addison's legal cloud. Yet, the vibe around Minnesota is electric. Analysts like Seth Walder see McCarthy dominating, but others warn of a potential last-place finish in the NFC North. The suspense is real. SKOL Nation, it's time to rally. What's your bold prediction for the Vikings in 2025? Will McCarthy be a superstar, Or are we in for a wild ride? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more Vikings news, and share this with your fellow fans. Let's go Vikings, SKOL!